You know him as Honest Abe. As president, he dedicated himself to the proposition that all men are created equal. Let's take a look.
It's an honor to meet you, sir.
The honor is mine.
Lincoln!
That was me, before some time travelers turned my life around.
Stay ballsy. Don't take any shit from anyone.
Hello! This weekend, Dallas, Texas gets invaded and then taken in the name of Ramborgian. But first, this is JohnRamboPresents the show. My name is John, and I am joined by, wait for it, the man of Peel. OJ is here!
Did you call me the man of Peel?
The man of Peel, that is you, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, that's better than man of Peel. Okay,
I stole it from the Ramborgian Doorman.
Oh, that guy's got some great.
I don't know how we didn't put that together ourselves. You get it? The man of, it's a play off the Man of Steel. Do you get the joke there? Do you understand?
Because I'm super. Thanks for asking.
How you doing, buddy? You're looking great.
Lies,
you there?
but thank you.
You're awake. You got a shirt on. We're doing great already.
I left this on. I'm sorry. Let me.
You got the shirt with you on it on again, huh?
I like it.
Are you packing that one?
No, I'm wearing it tonight.
You can sleep in it.
Maybe.
Do you let me ask you a question. Well, if you you go to sleep, you wear a shirt, like a t-shirt. The next day, do you still wear the shirt or do you change it out?
Oh, F that sauce. I change it
No,
after
I'm saying
I shower.
like it's not like a dirty you put it on to go to bed in it. You go to bed, you get up, and then what do? Do you change the shirt or not? Just wondering, for my own knowledge.
Wait, if I do or don't shower?
I don't know. I don't know what you do.
I always change my shirt in the morning.
Okay, if you showered, you didn't put the shirt back on.
I would never put the shirt back on. I already wore it. That's gross. The
right,
the worst I would do is wear a shirt just as like a pajama shirt. So put it on before I go to sleep.
Is it safe to say
take it off when I wake up and then put it back on?
Is it safe to say you're like a hygiene master? Is that such a thing?
Depends if you look in my kitchen right now.
Is that a term? Hygiene master?
It could be.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's my personal favorite time of the month. That's because the Great Ed Trotta will be here with us today. He's going to be with us in about an hour from now, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, or 5 a.m., depending on where you are. I hope you stick around for that. It's going to be great. We'll talk about all kinds of cool Ed stuff. Ed's always an entertaining man. Brings the show up several notches when he comes on.
Several tiers, man.
Several tiers. Stories. Entire skyscraper buildings. What else is going on, man? We're leaving for Dallas, Texas tomorrow. We'll be headlining the SGC convention in Dallas, even if they don't really realize that yet. That's what we're doing. We're going to talk about that a little bit. The Man of Steel. That's a Superman movie that came out over the weekend. I don't know if anybody heard of it. I did, in fact, see it. Xbox
It is different.
One.
It's not the sequel to Man of Iron, just letting you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not Steel
or Ferris
with Shaq.
Bueller's Day Off.
Steel with Shaq. It's not a... All right, yeah. And Xbox One is insane. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. And some other horrific conversations for you that will haunt your dreams forever. That's what we're going to do.
Sick. Yes, that's fine.
What happened?
Nothing.
Okay. Okay. Are you sure?
Yes.
If any time you need to stop, OJ, and you want me to call an ambulance for you, I will do that. Just let me know.
No, we're good.
Quickly, as we start here, last week I did the Morph song.
Yeah, you did, jerk.
I brought back Morph. They killed him in episode 2, but I brought him back. And an amazing run. A lot of people enjoyed the song. I got a lot of great feedback about the song. So what I've done is you can now download the MP3 version at StayBallsy.com. OJ in the Sky is up there. All the other music is up there. So simply go there and find it, download it, blast it in public, in your mother's face, on her birthday. What do you think?
Don't get me wrong, man. I want Morph to be awesome and healthy and well.
You know what? I don't think you defended Cyclops very well last week. Because you should
I haven't
have
seen the episode
said.
in a long time, and honestly, I don't remember the circumstances surrounding Morph's loss.
Cyclops decided to leave him for dead.
Why?
That's what you failed to explain to everybody. Maybe he left it because...
As I just said,
I'm trying to help you here. Why are you walking on my toes? Stepping on my toes. Maybe he left, though, because there would have been more casualties for the X-Men had they stayed. So he made the tough decision, and we have to go. That's what happened, Sean. You gotta defend your boy. But my favorite, if you watch the video that I made last week with Morph, my favorite part is like the X-Men are running into a room, and Wolverine does his cool run in with his claws. Beast comes in, he's jumping, Storm flies in, and then Morph, he runs in, and he just runs into the wall, and he holds his shoulder and runs in pain. So it's like, I wonder which character is going to die here. Morph is kind of a broken... Very quickly, I want to talk about Morph the whole time. But Morph is a kind of a broken character. He's like the most powerful guy, really. He could turn into any guy and have their powers. He turns into Omega Red, he has his power, he's crazy.
Yeah, but Omega Red's just kind of... Well, that's the thing. He actually got... That's the difference between he and Mystique, right? Mystique didn't get any powers when she transformed into people.
In the show, she did.
Really?
She can make sickles and all kinds of stuff. I don't know, whatever. This isn't about X-Men the Animated Series. That's next week, the whole thing. But, OJ, now, let me ask you a question.
Oh, dear.
I'm sure sometimes late at night, tell me if I'm wrong or right about this. All right? I'm sure sometimes late at night, it's like 3 a.m., you wake up in a cold sweat after a nightmare, and you go, if me and John Rambo had a child together, what would this child look like? I'm sure this happens.
Of nature.
Does this happen to you? Do you ever think this? Because I think it all the time.
I'm trying to avoid thinking of this.
I think about it all the time.
Well, John, here, John, I'll do it again. Like, here, take a look at yourself. What do you think? How does it look?
It looks great. The people listening to the MP3 version have no idea what's going on, so we're not going to continue with this.
Okay.
But anyway. So, John, what are you doing? You have to look at the screen.
I am looking at the screen.
You have to look.
I'm looking.
So our friend Smartguy, he's not only a smart guy, he's also a great guy. We were playing Marvel Heroes with him here and there, and he's a funny dude. He presents himself very well. I told him he should do a podcast. He's got a very good presentation and voice, and things like that.
I could see that.
He took it upon himself to take a picture of you, a picture of me, combine the pictures, and see what the outcome was if you and I were combined into one being, one super being. So here it is. Hopefully this is the right picture that I have selected. And here is the photo. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Here is the photo. Look at it, OJ.
Man. Why?
Look at it.
Why?
Look at it, OJ. Look at it.
It looks like the glasses are melding into the face.
So as you can see,
gosh, that's right. It's totally, what's it called?
What?
Gogeta? Yeah, it's totally Gogeta.
Yes.
That's the fat one, right?
So as you can see, our hats are even combined in a. It makes a bizarre. I don't know what the cat that you have is like. What is it? 1940s hat. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
The glasses have melded, and then our physical attributes. The best part. There's a giant chin with hair on it now, and a nose that looks like it's been broken many times.
Oh my gosh, it's you, but with my fat round face.
That's kind of like what it is. That's kind of like what it is. One side of the head is bald, one side is hair on it. I don't know if you noticed that. The ears seem to be... It looks kind of like Sloth from the Goonies.
You know, it's my right eyebrow, and I think your left.
I can't tell whose eye is whose, though. That's kind of weird, right?
A little peculiar. And the face is just... The mouth is scary.
So that will haunt you forever. There you go.
I don't know why you would bring that up.
Because it's beautiful, and that's our child, John. That's how you're going to treat our child?
He's beautiful.
That's your boy.
That's
your own boy. You're going to reject your boy?
You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy.
So I think maybe in the future, DNA, cloning, things like that. I wonder what the guy who'd be into anime, he'd watch anime and then play guitar at the same time.
This is the sort of horrible thing that started in Y the Last Man, okay?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What should we name him? Give him a name.
John.
His name's John. I see what you
That
did
was
there.
kind of easy.
All right, fair enough.
Since I don't remember your middle name.
So, well, you don't. I know your middle name.
Of course, I never
jerk.
shut up about it.
You jerk. Well, because I always hear your mother would call you that when she was mad.
Oh my gosh,
She
yeah,
would
like
say
when you
your
kick the
full
window in.
Well, I would do something and she'd get mad at you. Because
Yep.
because you brought me into the home. It's your fault. You brought me into your peaceful home where I caused chaos in the home.
Yeah.
Okay, so last week...
RambOJ.
RambOJ, sure. So this is kind of like a new segment all of a sudden. I don't know what to call this. Maybe like it's basically Stay Ballsy stories. Stories of people who've been staying ballsy out there and have achieved great things. I could probably come up with a better name than that. Right now, I can't do it. I just can't. So, what we're going to do, last week we talked about Damien, and he used the Stay Ballsy lifestyle to propel himself to his best marathon time ever. And I actually spoke with him. He wants to send me a signed photo, because I asked for a signed photo of him with the Stay Ballsy vest. Awesome. And he wants to do it. We don't have a P.O. box yet, but I'm going to try to set one up soon. This week we have a new Stay Ballsy experience to share. OJ, if you will, is on top of the document in which is in your possession. Sir. After he drinks his water there.
I had to make sure I was ready for this.
7-Eleven glass, yes.
All right, here we go. Sometime last summer, I sent you an email saying basically that I decided to step up and follow a dream. I signed up to go to a tattoo school in Portland, Oregon. The Forbidden School of Body Art, actually. I thought it would take me about 6 months to get through the program, but I've had many personal roadblocks along the way. My parents lost their home to Hurricane Sandy in New Jersey, losing my job and running out of benefits, and this past April, my girlfriend of 5 years left me. During that time, there have been other minor hurdles, like not knowing anyone out here to really promote myself. That's still an obstacle, but it's getting better. Throughout this whole time, I stayed positive, never lost sight of my goal. Essentially, staying ballsy. Your show and the many followers that share their experiences helped a lot. Whether you all realize it or not, and I hope my story can help someone else as well. Because you see, I'm now on the verge of becoming a licensed tattoo artist. The only thing I've really left to do is take the state test and complete the Red Cross CPR training. So by early July, I will have reached my goal and strive forward to make a name for myself. It wasn't easy. Never expected it to be. But here I am. The image I've attached to this email is a tattoo I've gotten from a fellow student, Rex Noor, a few weeks back as a reminder of what got me through. You can't see it too well from this picture, but the banner says Stay Ballsy. Because it's not just a catchphrase. It's not just a motto. It's a lifestyle. It's a personal choice to not settle and to not give in to the weight of the world in these hard times. Since joining the school, so much positive has come out of it. I've met some amazing friends that I know I'll have for life. We've all upped each other's art talents working together. And I'm living in a city I didn't think I'd enjoy half as much as I do. And now I've got a skill that I can take anywhere I go and possibly be successful. If I can strive, so can others. Bill Jersey, tattoo artist.
Oh, did you look at this tattoo? This is Stay Ballsy on it.
Sure does.
Did you ever imagine someone would get a Stay Ballsy tattoo?
I hope.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
But it never occurred to me.
I thought you would be the first. I was trying to get you to do it many times.
I am terrified of needles, sir.
You would do it. You could do it. That's a beautiful thing, man.
It is.
And like I said last week, if I've accomplished anything on this earth, it's maybe giving a couple people a little bit of nudge in a good direction. They did all the hard work and everything, all the good stuff, and accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. This man is no exception. And now we got a tattoo artist on the staff, which is great.
Definitely great.
We were talking the other day about tattoos. We had a friend down, and we were talking to him. And I said, I would maybe consider one day doing it. I've never done it. Mm-hmm. But I would have to, know the person and also, have something in mind that I'd want to get.
Yeah.
So, will this man be the one to break the skin and put a giant OJ face on my buttocks? Will he be the one?
It'll just look like you have two butts then.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Buttception.
Right. So that was an awesome email, man. And similar to last week, I got that right before the show was about to start. I was like, "Oh, this is
here,
great."
right?
Yeah, I was talking before.
Nice.
So thanks for submitting that, sir. And if any of you guys have your Stay Ballsy story, we would love to hear it and all that stuff. It's beautiful. Makes me feel good.
Yeah, it's nice to know that there's some people out there who are benefiting from our existence on this earth. It's great.
That's right.
It really is a good feeling.
So let's talk about this past weekend. We had an insane couple of days.
Yep.
Trying to finish out Schnoz Man Hole Punch. And I actually tweeted about it on Saturday night. I'm like, one of our first insane days over. And a few people were like, "You're still doing that? You're still filming that thing?" It's literally never ending. What happened is I added many things over the past 2 weeks, and then we had a couple things we had to do. So over this weekend we had 2 full days, probably talking 10 hours a day, probably.
Ridiculous.
And but we're still not even done. We're very close.
Yep.
We're gonna have to do one more day in July, and then that'll take it out. And I got a good amount of editing in front of us, but we're on track for episode 7 to come out in July, and episode 8 to follow shortly thereafter, which is awesome stuff. But we were out in the wilderness. Went out in the woods. We were there a couple months ago. We spoke about it on the show.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how quickly things change. We were there about.
Oh yeah.
We were there last time, and the weather's getting a little bit warmer, and stuff's starting to come to life. But now we come back. It's June, and it's just like a filthy swamp, and it's just full of insane creatures
It's a
that
nightmare.
just want to kill you.
It's a nightmare. I don't know if you guys know, but I do not like bugs. I don't like being in the heat. I don't like humidity. I don't like gross stuff. I don't like dirt. I'm kind of obsessive about this stuff, and it's awful.
So it's really difficult. I mean, we got OJ. I'm trying to keep OJ calm, and then like I'm putting the tripod in the ground. It's mud, and it's sinking into the ground. And then all of a sudden, like a beehive, all of a sudden is in the ground, and someone kicks a couple leaves, and bees start coming all over the place, and
A wild beehive appears.
mosquitoes everywhere, and blah blah blah. And a couple things happened that while we were there. At one point, we were doing something with OJ, and I tell him what to do, and along the lines of communication get messed up, and he thinks I'm telling him to do something completely different than what I'm trying to explain to him, and I go action, and he does something that I just was in complete shock. It had nothing to do with what I wanted him to do at all. He just runs like as fast as he possibly can in a direction which I don't even think he knew where he was going or saw where he was going. It was like the fastest I ever saw him move. I thought the snake bit you. You know what I'm
There was a
talking about.
snake now?
You know what I'm talking about, the snake. I thought you got the snake bite that we were talking about on the show.
Oh gosh.
But he just bolts in this direction, and it's like a hill, and there's it's like a big hill with mud and rocks and all this stuff. And I see him going, I see him tumble, he goes rolling down, and there's like several giant rocks that his body somehow misses them. And then he's laying there motionless, and then the first thought in my head was like, it's over. It's over. I'm like, it's over. He's dead. Schnoz, my whole punch is finished, the show is done. It just flashed before my eyes, it's completely done. But then he starts moving, and then he gets up. And I go, why the hell did you do that?
See, I thought I thought what John wanted me to do was to duck out of frame as fast as I can and crawl to the side. So I tried to duck out of frame and crawl to the side, but I kind of dashed instead. Like, you know in Mega Man X when you do the dash? I kind of did that. But you know how Mega Man X stops? I couldn't. I just started skidding and flying. Like, you see me with the yellow gloves trying to grab a sapling on my way down. Like, I grab it, my hands slide right off it. I just went flying
Well,
down.
what I wanted you to do is I was like, get out of frame as quickly as you can. Is pretty much what it said. So let's say this is the frame. All I wanted to do was go like this. That's all you had to do, just like that. But he decides to just get up and he runs, and it was a scary moment. And we had our new friend Brian was there, and he was just like in shock, and we thought you were finished.
So what we have on film is
we don't have it on
just
film.
me sliding, and then I'm gone, and then 10 seconds later I walk back into frame, dazed and muttering and saying angry words.
It was just insane how fast he moved. I never saw him ever move that quickly. So anyway, that's what happened to you. And then OJ, while we're in the woods, he's very afraid of I don't know, whatever the bugs. And he's going, there's ticks, and he's constantly looking.
Ticks.
And he hears, is that a bee?
Ants,
and he runs away.
spiders.
Is that a bee? He runs away, which you're not supposed to do. I don't think you're not supposed to run.
Nope, you're not.
And I'm kind of like, look at this guy. What do you mean? Ticks. And then we go back to the house, and OJ is like, I'm gonna shower, and he's checking himself for ticks, and I just go sit on the couch and freaking watch X-Men. And I'm like, whatever. I'm not. I don't care. I'm not checking for anything. So then I eventually go home. I get up. I go home. I shower. I go sleep. Get up the next day. You know, looking over the body, because I got a nice body, OJ. You know about that. checking it out, and I go, what the hell is this? And I find in my shoulder, there's a tick. And what they basically do is they like dig into your skin. And you see them like they're in there. And OJ, talk about ticks, because people that live in other places, they don't have this issue or these things. Just tell us what they are. Tell us what they could potentially do to you.
Ticks are arachnids. I think they are. They're tiny little jerk faces. They're blood-sucking parasites. Literally.
You see that?
So they
That's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll bite you. And well, first of all, they'll get on your skin, they'll crawl around for a while, find a nice warm spot, and then they'll bite you. Now, if you get like a dog tick or whatever, a nice big tick, you're probably going to be mostly okay. It's the tiny little itty-bitty jerk faces, the deer ticks, that you got to watch out for. These things are roughly the size of like one of the dang little brown bumps on my arm, of which there are many. So it makes it really effing hard to find them. But,
what can they do when they attack you?
When they bite you, if they latch on for long enough, or if you like squeeze them improperly, they have a chance to give you Lyme disease, which is named after Lyme, Connecticut, which isn't terribly far from here.
Which is a disease, which is something you had when you were a child.
Yay!
And your parent. We talked about this on the show before, but if you didn't hear about it, OJ's parents thought OJ was losing his mind. They took him to a psychologist, psychiatrist, all kinds of things. They thought he was an insane person, which he kind of is. But all along, he had Lyme's disease, and it was undiagnosed
for a long time.
So John hates Lyme's disease.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got the tick. It was in me, and I pulled it out, and then I started talking to different people, family members, friends. I talked to you about it, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And first of all, everyone has something different to say, so it seems like no one really knows. Some people are like, you're supposed to burn the area, burn the area where the tick was, put a flame to it.
What? I've never heard that.
Put Vaseline on it, do this, do that. And then I'm just like, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna forget about this. And then the area starts to kind of bother me. And then I notice later in the day, I'm like, wait a second, my side is hurting me too. And I look over there, and there's a tick in my side.
They call it like a bullseye rash because it's a big round circle.
So then I pull that one out with tweezers, and I'm like, crap. I'll go to the doctor. I didn't want to. This was on Monday. I didn't want to go to the doctor that day because I had to see Man of Steel. So I went to see Man of Steel, and then I got yesterday, which was Tuesday. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the doctor. And I haven't been to the doctor in about 6 years.
Wow. I
haven't had no reason to go. I'm a pretty healthy dude locally. It's a good thing. And part of the reason I think I was able to avoid the doctors is because I never went to the doctor. Because the doctor gives you medicine, and then it kind of weakens you down, I think. And I used to get crazy stuff. When I would go to the doctor regularly, I'd get like bronchitis, strep throat, all that stuff. And then I eventually got sick, and I was like, I'm not even going to go. And then I got sick again. I was like, I'm not going to go. And then I just stopped really getting sick like that. So I don't know. That's just me. I don't recommend other people do that. But I go to the doctor, and my doctor's a funny dude. He's a big fat guy.
Oh, yes. Haha, fat is funny. Ha,
No. Well, it's ironic in the sense that he's a man of health. That he's a man that you go to heal you.
It's like if a doctor smokes, you mean?
I guess so. He's a big dude, but he's a jolly fellow. He's like a Santa Claus type. I love the guy a lot. He's a funny man. And he's a great guy. And he basically said, he told me a couple things about Lyme's disease and whatnot. And he said, since it's been within like a 75-hour time period, if you take the first like wave of meds, then you can pretty much flush it out. So if you have Lyme's disease, you have to take the medicine for 21 days.
Wow.
But I have to take it for about 5 days.
Wow.
And I should be fine. So that's what's going on right now. And I'm not a big medicine guy. I live drug-free, alcohol-free. Right? But sometimes you got to bite the bullet, and you got to do something, because it's a bad thing. I don't want
bad news bears.
I don't want that deal.
Dude, I'm freaking out, man. I still haven't found any ticks or anything.
So I tell OJ what happened, and he's going, oh my God, I still have some on me.
Yeah, no, seriously, dude. You can't see it, but over in the corner over there, like behind my light, there's a tick nipper. I ordered a tick nipper, which is a special type of tweezer for pulling out ticks.
Yeah.
I ordered it, and one day mailed it to myself with Amazon Prime. And
And then I'm
just
thinking,
in case, because like, no, the only person who's been looking for ticks on me is myself, and it's pretty easy for me to have missed some.
well, I'm not gonna look. I'm sorry. I mean,
That's
hope
fine.
you're not offended by that.
I've been freaking out because I found a bump on the back of my head, but it's probably one
Do
of
you
my
think
effing
that
moles.
maybe I should not take the medicine and let the limes take over? Let the limes
No.
take over. Just imagine the intros are crazy as they are. Just imagine a limes influenced intro for the show.
We've already got oranges. We don't need any more fruits.
Imagine that. What do you think about that?
I'm just picturing
So,
you
I don't know,
driving
man,
to
it's
Lyme,
just,
Connecticut. I'm just picturing you driving to Lyme, Connecticut,
laying
and
in a field.
photographing everything important and making an intro from that.
Like, I want Lyme's disease. Is just going to Lyme, Connecticut, and just laying in a field.
John.
Bring me the. It's like the symbiote for Venom. You know, like bring me the ticks. Give me the lime.
Dude.
And then you get all ticks, and you have like superpowers.
I'm totally freaking out, man.
But it's really not that bad. That's what he told me. If you catch it, you get the medicine, and then you're good.
I mean, if I have it, I'll end up getting the medicine a week late.
It's okay. We'll take
I
care
hope
of
so.
you. So it's just like, when I told OJ, it kind of feels like the universe is challenging me to make this thing. Like, you can't do this shit. And, like, there's always roadblocks and there's always weird things that happen. But keep pushing through it.
Push it harder, make it
I
better.
will give
Do it
my
faster,
physical
make it
self.
stronger.
I will give my physical self. It's all about sacrifice. I will give of myself to get this done. And that's what we'll do. And it's not going to stop. A little tick bite, that's a joke. That's a joke and a half. Give me like an alligator bite. Even then, keep moving. That's how it is. Just like my man with the tattoo. This is StayBallsy. And Damien with the marathon. Keep it rocking, Johnny.
Never give up.
All right. So we're going to, what is this thing? Screw Attack?
Screw Attack Gaming Convention.
Screw Attack Gaming Convention.
Yes.
We're leaving tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I'm leaving in the afternoon. You're leaving later at night.
I'm getting in at like 1 a.m., dude.
Oh, yeah? I'll be fast asleep by then. Or I'll be watching the NBA Finals or something. But, so Phil's going with his girlfriend. OJ's going with his girlfriend. I'm going alone. Because, quite frankly, my girlfriend wants no part of this stuff. And, honestly, I think that makes her the smartest one of us all. She wants no part of the internet world. And I quite frankly can't blame her for that. She's a smart lady. That's why we're doing the thing together. But, let's see. What are we going to... Oh, we got the... Last week we talked about how I need a cable to do the kind of videos that I've been doing for these conventions.
Yep.
OJ secured the cable. He was my savior. He got the cable. He overnighted it to my home. I have it in my possession.
Yeah.
So I will be looking to do the style of videos I've done in the past at these conventions. If you haven't seen them, I highly suggest you do so. I put those videos up. I'm not one to jack myself off all over the place on this program.
Just
a lot of times I put myself down quite a bit. But I put those videos up against anything that's ever been uploaded to the YouTube. I think they're very, very funny and good. And hopefully we can continue with that line of video making at this thing.
Those are kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty wild. And to be honest, I don't think that the convention should allow me in it because they don't know what's coming. I think the Screw Attack people should say this guy cannot come in.
Please don't.
Because it's just chaos that I bring, and I will bring chaos throughout this convention. And they shouldn't let me in, but they probably will because I fly under the radar, and I'm gonna go crazy. And I'm gonna try to outdo myself, which is tough. Last time I think I was in the bathrooms interviewing people.
Oh gosh, last time you had me. I remember you had me interview the angry video game nerd.
And we interviewed the Verizon guy.
The Verizon guy was great.
I asked him where the T-Mobile girl was, and if he had ever had relations with her before. But so that's so this can be going on.
They don't call her mobile for nothing.
We're gonna have these cards. That this is the logo that JV7 made for us. We got 1,500 of these cards. I'm gonna try to give every one of these out. We're gonna have a booth table. Was it a booth? What do you call that? A table?
A table.
It's a table. All right, I thought it was something more elaborate.
Excuse me.
What the? Disgusting. So we're gonna have the shirts. We have blue StayBallsy, black StayBallsy, blue StayBallsy. I got a suitcase full of Schnoz Man shirts, which we're bringing. And that's what's going on there. OJ's gonna have candles, right?
A few. Whatever we can fit in a suitcase because they are fragile.
DSP is going to be there. You can come see him. It's going to be a good time. If you're in the area, I think it's in Dallas, please come say hello. Don't be shy.
We would love to see any one of you there.
We're going to be part of...
mock me with my terrible hair.
We're going to be part of DSP's panel. I think a goal for us in the future should be to try to have our own panel somewhere.
That would be awesome.
That's a good goal for us to try to put out there for ourselves. But we're luckily to be part of the panel there. We got some big plans. I think we asked for someone to help us last week. No one answered the call, so I kind of changed around what we're doing, and we don't need anyone now. So blah.
By the way, when we do our own panel, we should call it "How Not to Make a Web Series," and show them everything we learned.
We'll just do it it'll be a panel about ticks. That'll be the whole thing. This is how you prevent tick bites.
Meanwhile, everyone shows up going, "Spoon!" And we're all like,
"My name is OJ." The panel, we got a couple things planned. I heard the Great Hole Punch may make an appearance at this panel. I don't know
if... That dude barely left Connecticut to go to Pennsylvania. You think he's going to catch a flight? You think they'll let him on an airplane?
I don't know. I heard Hole Punch may be there. That's pretty much going on. And if you want to follow the action right away, because what I'll probably do is take a lot of footage, and then when I get back, I'll have to put it all together and make it all nice for you. So, but while we're there, you can follow us on the Twitter thing, and I'll probably have a lot of photos of what's going on. Super John Rambo. There you go. You already knew that, though. They already knew that. You wake up in the middle of the night and you check it. Right. So, get to go to the airport tomorrow. I'm driving out, and I'm parking at the airport because I don't have anyone that could give me a ride or anything. And, get on the plane. Do you like the flying? Do you do that? No?
No, I hate flying. I hate it.
I don't like it either. It's pretty bad.
Well, yeah, it kind of is.
Because there's a lot of people in there.
And they always make me take my belt off.
And they always... The people in the plane make you take it off? Or before you get on the plane?
Yeah, I thought they were only supposed to do it during security, but no, I'm getting on the plane,
Random people.
Take my belt off, I'm sitting in the chair, take your belt off, I'm
Random
walking
people
on
come
the wall.
over, sir, can you take your belt off for me? I go, yes, I will do that. So, me and OJ had kind of a funny back and forth recently. Because the way this is going to work is OJ and his girlfriend have a hotel room. So
you gotta bring...
So, what?
Go on.
So OJ's like, "Are you gonna stay in our room?" So I'm like, "Well, I'm not really that comfortable with that. I'm gonna get my own room." So I have my own room to myself, and OJ and his girlfriend have a room. So when I told John this, he thought it was like very strange, and he's like, "What do you mean? What's weird about that? What would make you feel awkward about that?" And he was like, this like kind of blew his head off, like why would you feel that way? And I think it's funny because it's just like a difference of a mentality, I guess, And it's nothing to do with you. It's not because of you or your girlfriend, or I think you guys are gonna like attack me in the night or something like that, or it's like something wrong with you guys. I just don't feel very comfortable with that situation to have like a couple in the room and I'm like a bed next to them. It's just kind of weird to me.
I slept on the floor. If you needed me to.
It's nothing against you personally. It's just how I feel about it. And it's funny how I feel that way and you feel so differently about it. And you're like, well, there's other people that have stayed with us before.
Well, it's just like it never occurred to me that would be weird. Like, I never even stopped to think before. Wow, that is bulky Schnoz, man. But I never stopped to think before. Like, it never occurred to me that would be a thing.
Yeah, but I think the difference is you're used to...
a little bit. I'm like, I understand now, but then I was just kind of like, wait, what? Wait, what?
Well, you're used to like this convention lifestyle. Is that fair to say? Is that offensive?
Convention style?
This like convention lifestyle where you guys go and you have other people in the room because you're trying to save some cash, and then you go and do the convention stuff. And it's almost like the way I compare it to like you're almost like bohemians, like hippies in a way. Like they'd sit in like mud, and they'd have people all over the place. As long as they can get like their LSD and their music, they don't care about the living conditions. And you guys are similar in that you'll have like people you don't even know in the room, and you'll have multiple people in the room to save some money. So then you could like get your like anime and your board games and shit. Is that offensive to say that?
They're not hippies, man.
It's kind of like that though. To me, it's like
How are we hippies?
Because you're like, well, yeah, we'll have like you have people. You told me you had people in your room that you don't even know who they are. You let them stay in the room because you're all like, we're all brothers, dude, man. We're all brothers, man. Come in the room and we'll get some anime going. We'll light it up on the TV. Will light up and we'll watch it together. And then it's like now instead of free love, it's like free anime. That's like what's going on here. But I understand because honestly like 10 years ago I was big into fighting games. And the most important thing was to get to the tournament and play the game. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you didn't have a lot of money and stuff like that. We didn't have any cash. We'd stay in people's rooms. We didn't know who the hell they were. You'd have 15 people in a room, because you try to get through the night so you could play the game, because that's the reason you were going. So
that's the whole point.
I've done that before, but now I'm old, John.
You're not that old. Come on, man.
I'm pretty old. I'm 30, so it's like I don't want to be in a room with like a lot of. I feel like at 30 years old, I should be able to have my own room. Because, you're an adult now, and you deserve that.
30? Dude, 30 isn't that old, man.
I think it's kind of old to be in a room with like 100 people. It's all relative, though.
If they're all relatives, then it's even less bad.
Well, if you see them naked. All right. Let's talk about video games once again.
Video games!
And as we know, video games are the most important thing in the world.
Yeah, actually, I do have something video gaming related I do want to mention.
What is this?
I just have to give a huge thank you to the Merk with the Mouth, who sent me Mark of the Ninja.
Yeah.
Just because. He just sent me Mark of the Ninja for free. So thank you, Merk with the Mouth. You are awesome. I will play this and let you know how it went.
I got a quick comment in the chat. Never Jive says, what happened to your old friend Kevin? He was in Games the Series.
Kevin's awesome.
He was in Schnoz Man Hole Punch. He was one of the Ninja Italians, the last episode.
Mm-hmm. He was also the guy with the cell phone.
He's been in a couple of them, and he's working. He's doing his thing. He's doing well. So anyway,
awesome.
Let's talk about games. Games are very important.
Games,
especially to people on YouTube with gamer in their name. Like gamer is in part of their gamer is in their tag.
I think that just is a big indication that they like games.
They love getting insane gamer 752, Gamer Apocalypse 983. They're very hardcore.
Gamers.
Very hardcore.
Game.
Do you remember when people didn't really identify themselves as gamer? I'm a gamer. That didn't really go on. It was just like you played games sometimes. No one really said I'm a gamer. They kind of came out later on. Like that's part of like the GameStop culture when they were in there like be a gamer, trade in your shit.
Power to the players. F you.
Be a gamer. Do that. That's kind of came later on.
Be a gamer. Rip off the game.
I think it's kind of weird to say like I'm a gamer. Like people say it like it's a trade. Like I'm a plumber. Oh yeah, well I'm a gamer.
Tell that to the pro StarCraft players, dude.
Like that's a little different. If you're like professionally doing it, I guess I don't know. But you never like went to an arcade. And you like go to like play someone, like you would just play people, right? You would never go up to somebody and be like, "Are you a gamer?" And they'd be like, "Yes, I am." Like, "I'm a gamer as well. Let us game together."
Put your quarter up, punk.
Right? Like
this.
people that watch television, they don't have a. Do they have a name? Like gaming is a hobby, right? So why does it have like a name like that? Like if you watch television, what are you called?
Are you a D&Der?
I watch movies.
Are you a book reader?
I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Are you a moviegoer?
I'm a goer. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me.
Not a shower?
But anyway, a few people last week weren't very happy with our E3 coverage. And quite frankly, I admit it wasn't very good. I don't think we were very up on a lot of the stuff that was going on. But we tried. But anyway, I'm glad that we didn't really do a good job with it. Because here we are a week later, and pretty much everything has changed. And none of it really mattered.
Things different now.
Things have changed quite a bit in the last several hours, actually. So, I want to say this: like all these gaming websites and people that do like their vlogs about every detail, everything. Oh, here's my new vlog about this thing that came out. Everyone should thank Microsoft because it was crazy old Microsoft and their home invasion console idea that created like a huge controversy over the last week. That probably gave these websites like a lot extra hits, and I'm sure increased like views on a lot of these people's videos, or gave people an excuse to make videos about things.
Oh yeah.
So if it wasn't
angry,
if it wasn't for Microsoft's batshit crazy conference, what would people really be saying about E3? Like, what would have been the big story? Like, oh, PS4 looks pretty good. There's some good games coming out for it. It's got good graphics. We'll see what happens with future titles that may come out. That's pretty much what it would have been. But they came out with this crazy stuff, and this became a huge thing, and a lot of people benefited off of that. So in some ways, I think these people got to thank them because they made some cash off the Microsoft insanity. You know. So
yeah, Google's just raking in the dough, huh?
Who?
Ads.
Oh, yeah. So, if you haven't watched 100 other videos about this already, you don't know what I'm talking about. At E3, Microsoft announced that the Xbox One, which is all-in-one, John, that's why it's called that, doesn't really play used games. You have to check in every 24 hours in order to play the games. And they didn't really explain why they were doing that. Didn't give any reason why there was a benefit for the customer to have these features or anything like that. They just kind of came off as lunatics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people lost their minds, people lost their shit, and people just went crazy. They started making videos, crazy stuff. Like, I'm going to make a video where a guy wearing a Microsoft shirt gets kicked in the balls by a guy wearing a PS4 shirt, and I'm going to get 2 million views on this. And this kind of stuff happened. Mm-hmm. People are just losing their minds. And to go along with that, Sony starts like doubling their projections for PS4 sales, and they're like, "Oh my God, look what we won. This is over," and the Xbox One is seemingly done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So keeping all this in mind, today Microsoft all of a sudden comes out of nowhere, and they basically say, "We're not doing, no longer doing any of this stuff. Used games are fine, and there's no more checking in." And I think they also said there's no region locks anymore.
Really?
I could be wrong about that, but this came out literally like like an hour before we started the show. So
well, someone should effing tell Nintendo to get with the effing program and unlock my effing 3DS. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Well, I still have the original DS, which is the best one.
I have that too, but it ticks me off.
So they basically went back completely and turned the whole thing around. And I think that's a great thing. With that being said, it's a great thing. I would still like to know why they wanted to do this stuff.
NSA.
Is it just that they're that greedy and they're that pervy that's what they wanted to do, or was there ever anything more to that idea? And they kind of went through with this. They went through a similar thing, not as bad with the original Xbox One, the real Xbox One, when they said that Xbox Live would be broadband only, and people went a little crazy. And they're like, what do you mean? Not everyone has broadband. A lot of people in the country don't have broadband. What about people that don't have it? What about them? And it sounds kind of familiar to this, but they stuck with their idea, and I think Xbox Live kind of was better because of that. It was basically like, we don't want the dial-up people to ruin the network for everyone else. I guess is what was going on. But now they had this idea, this concept that they came up with for Xbox One. They completely reversed it. And I don't know. I feel like if you have a concept, you have an idea, you should kind of stick to that. Because if you don't, you kind of look stupid. You kind of look bad. To be like, we were wrong before the thing even comes out.
Well, they would have been. They wouldn't have sold any if they left that garbage in there.
That's basically what was going to be. And then at the end of the day, they don't care. They're just trying to make money. That goes for all the companies. But in a lot of ways, it's their own fault. They didn't explain why that was good for any of us to have this feature, and maybe there was no good reason. Maybe there was no good reason. It was just they were going to make money off it, and they thought they could get away with it. So my question is, can they win back the support of the people that have turned against them now?
They can. I think they can salvage it from being a complete failure.
Right.
Like, they can make it so they can try again next console war. Next round.
Really? This one's done.
That's. I don't think they can come back and beat Sony at this point. Heck, I don't know if they're going to beat Nintendo.
It just makes them look really bad. Like they had this really dumb idea, and then they go, "Oh, wait a second, we're not doing that. Sorry." It just makes them look really bad. And I'm still with the PS4 because of the Kinect. Pretty much is the reason I don't want the Xbox. And like I see people out there and they're like, "Oh, Sony's all about the hardcore gamers," right? You'll see a lot of this stuff now. But you got to remember they had the online pass. They tried to come up with a used game thing. They didn't go through with it. And I really believe if the Sony Move had sold a lot, they'd probably be doing something with that now. They'd probably be focusing on it. But lucky for us, it didn't really do that well. And the PS4 now doesn't have it. Like, it doesn't require that stuff. It's not their focus, which is good for people that don't like that. And the PS4 doesn't require you to talk to it, which I prefer. I don't like to talk to machines.
When I get on answering machine, I melt my phone.
So does this change how you personally feel about the Xbox One or the console war in general, OJ?
Basically, Microsoft just went all Napoleon on Russia, all right? I am Napoleon. Pardon me, I'm coughing. I'm Napoleon. I am awesome. I can beat everybody. I'm going to invade Russia in winter. Oh, I see. Guys, go back. Go back. Undo that. Belay that order. No, no, no.
But I'm asking, like, does it change which console you would want at all?
If Sony's got good network support and doesn't give away people's passwords like idiots anymore, I'd go there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy one. I've already got my Wii U, so whatever.
I think the Xbox is gonna help them a lot. I don't think the average person even knows about any of this stuff that's going on.
Parents don't know.
They're not going to know until they start seeing the advertising hot and heavy, and it's starting a little bit, but you're not seeing that. And I think a lot of people on the internet think the internet represents like the world, But there's a lot of people that don't go on to all these sites and don't read all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's probably more than that do. That's just how it is. So it's going to come down to really what happens with the advertising, and when people go to the store and then now they're not going to have the guy at the store tell them that this one has to check in every 24 hours and this one doesn't. And this one's cheaper. And for a lot of people, the Kinect might put them in that direction. This one's got a camera that you can move around and talk to. Some people might, oh, that's cool, I'll get that. They're freaking weirdos, but that might happen. So I think it kind of brings them back into the fold, and we'll see what happens.
And again, PC is awesome.
Yeah, but you don't want one console to dominate the other. Want there
to be competition.
Yeah, what's best for us is when they're both going at it, and they're both like even, and they're both killing each other, and they're both trying to find ways to get your attention and win you over.
Oh, Microsoft got our attention. They just didn't win us over.
And try to one up each other, and with gaming and stuff like that. So that's why I don't get it. People are like, oh, just screw them and go to hell. You don't want one to fail so badly. It's not good for you in the end.
No.
You don't have to buy their console, but why do you want them to go out of business? It's not going to help you.
What happens if Microsoft goes down? It means that Sony can do whatever the heck they want.
What happens if Sony's the only thing left? What do you think was going to happen? They're going to go, okay, we won. Our consoles are free now, and they're filled with gold and money. No, they're probably going to charge whatever they want for the games. They'll charge whatever they want for the console.
It's going to be Madden. Nothing but Madden. It's going to be just like Madden.
Yes. Some people agreeing with me in the chat. Thank you. Hello. All right.
I like.
So that's that. That is that. I want to talk about Man of Steel a little bit, John. I know you didn't see it. So I'm really not sure how we're going to do it. I want you to see it, then we can really get into it. I could give a brief overview of it, I guess.
Superman's in it.
Have you heard about this Pacific Rim movie?
Yeah, it's Macross.
Yeah, what the hell, dude? I didn't know about this movie, and then I saw the trailer, and I love a good monster movie. Like the only thing I like as much as a superhero movie is a monster movie. So
a monster superhero movie.
It looks like it's got Power Rangers in it, and it's got a mech. It's got monsters.
I'm pretty sure it's giant robots fighting monsters.
Yeah, but there's dudes in the robots.
Yeah,
they're like Power Ranger type, like Megazord type stuff.
Okay, as long as it's not like Aquarion robots, we'll be okay.
So I definitely want to see this movie. The trailer won me over. It doesn't really happen much. As long as I saw the Power Ranger dudes, I'm in. I'm going to see it.
Maho Sentai Magi Ranger.
See, I think that's a cool concept if you do a grittier, more adult themed Power Rangers. Imagine that.
Huh.
That's pretty badass, man. You like this idea, I could tell. I see it in your eyes.
I'm thinking about it. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Well, what would the villain look like?
He would be Repulsa. I don't know.
Gross?
So the Man of Steel, it's been difficult for them to do a really good Superman movie. It's kind of...
It's never an easy task.
It's an interesting thing because he's probably one of the most known characters ever. Was like Mickey Mouse, Superman. He's right there with Ronald McDonald, whatever you want to throw in there. you show that S and people know what that is. You think, oh wow, there's money to be made here with the movie. But it never really worked out for a little bit in the late 70s, early 80s, and there was a big drought. They tried a couple years ago. It didn't really work. I think it's for a couple reasons. Like Superman's like big time special effects. You need like certain things to really bring him to life, and it didn't really.
Dude flying through the sky,
and that never really existed in technology. And now it seems like they can do a closer thing to that. Storyline, I guess they can never really figure it out. I guess it's there's a lot that happens, and they have to explain to the viewer that he's from this planet, and this happens, and he comes, and it's quite a bit of stuff, right? So for whatever reason, it never really was really put together.
It's tough.
You'd think it wouldn't be, but I guess it is.
Well, he's an icon, dude. What do you expect?
It's an iconic character. People look at it, they really judge it harshly. But so anyway, after seeing this movie, I believe they delivered the best Superman live-action movie ever made. That's my opinion on it. I did enjoy it quite a bit. Now, even with that being said, it's not like a perfect Superman movie in my eyes. It's closer than they've ever gotten before, and in the total like echelon of superhero movies, I wouldn't put it up there with my own personal favorites. Like the ones I like the most are like Dark Knight, Avengers, X-Men 2. I liked a lot.
X-Men 2 is okay.
Like I wouldn't put up there like as like one of the best, but it's very good. It's the best Superman, I believe. The special effects, they're freaking awesome, dude. Crazy stuff. I didn't even see the 3D one. I saw the normal one, and that was still really awesome. So I would actually consider maybe going to see like the IMAX 3D.
Really?
Because I think it'd be pretty crazy. You could see like some of the spots. Like when you watch the normal version and there's a 3D version, you could tell like, oh, that was done for the 3D. Like certain things,
Yeah.
You gotta kind of remind yourself. You'll see like something fly at the screen. Like, why'd you do that? Like, oh, there's a 3D version. That's why.
Was it filmed in 3D or?
I think pretty much everything is now.
A lot of times they do it in post-processing.
I have no idea. I don't know the technical things for the movie. But sorry, I just don't have it.
It's okay.
Certain things about it were incredible. Krypton is awesome, dude. Like they really made it a real place.
You want to go to there?
Well, it's a little violent there. I mean, I don't know. Like, but I'll say you this: if they made a movie about Krypton, that's like a prequel type thing, I would see that. I would watch that.
Now it's gonna happen.
Because I said it? I don't think so.
It's true.
I don't think that's true. But I would watch like the Krypton movie and see what's going on there because it was pretty sweet.
It would be called One Night in Krypton.
Krypton the movie. It would have crypto.
Oh no! It would be a film noir love story called Krypton Nights.
It would have the Crypto the dog.
He's
okay.
So
anyway,
cute.
So the way that it's kind of built is it cuts back and forth between the past and the present day. And I kind of you kind of get why they did that. It allows you to cut through a lot of time quickly. Mm-hmm. Instead of having it go from like beginning to end, and not
like a normal plot.
Yeah, but if you do that, then it takes a lot more. It's gonna take a lot more time. Because then you could go, oh, he's young, he's a little older here, boom. Now he's from the present day. Now he's a little older over there, boom, boom, boom. But I think, I kind of agree with you. I think for instance, the Spider-Man movies, you feel like you really get to know the character very well. Because you see him start off, and he's one way, and then something happens, and you go, oh, geez, what happened? And then,
super nerd.
And then you get to see, him in that process, and then, oh, look what he could do now. This is crazy.
Beaten up nerd.
Then you kind of start to you see his whole story, so you care about the character, and I think in this movie you do care about Clark Kent, but I don't think you love him that much. Like you care about him, but Like, you love him, but you're not in love with him. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you wouldn't want to marry him, but
you love him, you care about him, you want him to be well.
Yeah.
But you're not like, that's my guy. And I feel like some of the other movies do a little bit better job of that, because you're like, you see that progression, and you're like, I remember when he was like that so long ago. Now look at him now. You know, some of the action scenes now, like from a technical standpoint, they're like freaking incredible stuff, right? But some of it doesn't like make sense if you pull yourself out of the movie, which you really shouldn't do. If you kind of pull yourself out of it, and you're like, what is Superman doing right now? Like it's kind of like Michael Bay type things, like Transformers, like he'll be fighting, and like he'll just like crash through like 4 buildings to get to the dude he's trying to attack.
Superman wouldn't do that. Superman would fly around the building.
Right, it doesn't make any sense. Like that's just done so they could have cool like building explosions in a movie. You know, some special effects guy, look what I could do.
That's exactly what Superman tries to avoid.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you go back to like even like the Christopher Reeve stuff in a lot of the comics, if Superman sees like a powerful dude in the city or something, he'll try to lure the guy out. Right? Yeah. Because I have to get him out of there, and he'll try to lure him just to a place where there's no one around or into space or something. And it didn't really happen like that. He would just be like, "Oh fuck it," and he would crash through buildings and whatever. And then like the bad guys would do the same thing, and like I think Superman would try to go and save the people before the guy destroyed the city. But then he'd go that direction.
You mean the right direction?
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not going to say that because, again, it's this interpretation of Superman. It's not my interpretation. It's the dude who made the movie.
Having Superman try not to hurt civilians is key.
To you and I, but not to everybody else.
That's the whole point. He's trying to protect the humans.
I don't know. This
is not rocket science. If it was, they could have sent more people from Krypton.
So anyway, I thought overall it was pretty like overly dark and like pretty serious. Like pretty much every flashback was some kind of like terrible thing. And then it goes to like a present day and like some other terrible thing happens to him. He's like the most unlucky person ever. It's like, here's a terrible thing that's in the past. Here's something terrible that's happening now. It's like calamity just kind of follows him, like some calamitous thing like is constantly happening.
Doom.
And I think it's so serious that you kind of like lose a little bit of the character, because like no one's like serious all the time like that.
Superman's supposed to be larger than life, a big inspiration to us all. He's the one who's supposed to lead humanity into awesome talent.
If you met someone that was that serious, you would be like, get away. What's your problem? He's more serious than like Batman, than the Dark Knight.
He's like what, like Orin from 30 Rock?
Like in the Dark Knight movies, like Batman and Alfred will have a little like sarcastic back and forth once in a while, kind of break it up a little bit. This dude's just freaking down in the dumps, man. And like certain things about the characters that they kind of lose when you do that. Like, because I think their whole thing was like, we don't want this to be cartoonish. We don't want it to be cheesy or corny. But you kind of lose things. Like Zod just kind of comes off as a little generic. Like in Superman 2, right? He had funny shit that he used to say. Neil before Zod. There's websites of just Zod quotes.
Zod2016.com. Is that site still?
Yeah, because there's amazing stuff, and they kind of got rid of all of that stuff. They're like, no, it's just very serious, because they don't want it to be cartoony, but it's cartoony no matter what, because it's a dude flying around in spandex essentially. So no matter what, it's going to be a little bit cartoony, and you got to throw a little spice in there once in a while.
It can't just be.
It's just be like, oh, Superman, gotta do this.
Why?
So, anyway, like to me, like who the character is the most important thing. Like what they're about, like what they believe. And I think that's the best thing about Superman is like what he believes, and despite all his abilities, that he's so powerful and all this stuff. His best trait is like his the way he goes about his business. And truth, justice, the American way, right? And
that's what he stands for. So anyway,
some of the stuff in the movie, I don't like my Superman doing that. Maybe you disagree. That's just me, though. My Superman, I don't like him doing some of the things that happen. But I feel like Superman always finds a way. Like that's why he does super stuff. He's Superman. He finds a way.
He's a superhuman superhero with a super content
super. That's what
and
he
is
does.
super optimistic.
He always finds a way. So, we'll talk about more when OJ sees it. Ed's going to come on now. But I did like it a lot. I recommend everyone goes to see it. Yes.
I just did want to point out, I wanted to share with everyone the wonders of Zod2008.com when Zod ran for president, but apparently you can't put links in the chat.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, that shouldn't have taken a lot less time than it did.
Yes. All right, right on.
Is it time for the man himself?
I think the Marvel movies, they found like the perfect formula. Because it's like they give you the backstory, and you start to care about the character, like the person, not necessarily like a lot of times it's before they got their powers or whatever.
Yeah.
You care about them as like a character, and like they have higher entertainment value. Like they have a lot of hijinks, some light moments, and then they get to a point where it's like it's supposed to be very serious, and then they put the character in a situation where you feel like they actually could be in danger. And I didn't feel like at any point in this movie like Superman, oh shit, Superman might die here. Like it never really happens. And then they don't try to be like overly like sophisticated or artsy or anything. They just tell the story. And I don't know. I think they kind of found a formula that works well with the Marvel characters. You know.
They did a good job with them.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna hang up on you too because you sound horrible. I'm gonna call Ed.
Okay.
All right, bye. Okay, let's get OJ back. Start with OJ. Do we have OJ?
Yes.
Let's get Ed.
Doggy.
What happened?
Well, I guess I'll have to entertain you guys while we try to get the sound clip with the Ed on the phone. So.
This always happens.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, hey, John Harrington wants to show video. Yeah, accept. Okay.
Do it, Ed. Show that video.
I remember this process.
Oh yeah. It's loading. There you are. There he is.
Okay.
Ed, what happened? You changed your shirt?
Oh yeah, you know I had to. I was helping a friend out who needed his son picked up from elementary school.
Yeah.
And it was the same elementary school that my daughter went to, and I just didn't want to go to the playground and have some 6-year-old say, "Hey, Mister, what does that mean?" I was wearing my StayBallsy T-shirt.
Yes, it's in position of a StayBallsy shirt now.
And yeah, so.
Oh yeah, John, turn up the volume a bit, John, on you.
Yes, because I went to the elementary school and I didn't want to be wearing StayBallsy. You're seeing video on this call because the show has group video calling. All right, don't show. Close that. All right.
You're frozen, Ed. Can we call you back?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'll call you right back.
And John, don't forget to readjust the audio.
I did do that already.
Okay, no, you're gonna have to do it again, aren't you?
Yes. This is the fun times.
Technical problems, but Rambo will solve them every day.
You're like completely horrible.
As always.
Close that. All right. Is that better?
Yeah, I was waiting for your video. I think you have the video playing, Ed. Can you shut that?
Sorry about that. John, don't forget to readjust the audio. I can do that already. Okay, no, you're gonna have to do it again, aren't you?
No, I just clicked on accept.
This is the fun times. Yeah, you have the video playing in the background, Ed. You have to close that out. The video you were watching before.
Absolutely horrible. As always.
Okay, what do we do? Is that better?
You have to X out of the video you were watching, sir. You have the video playing, Ed.
Oh yeah, the Twitch.tv site. I think you have to close that.
I have
Or
a
at least
video
mute it.
playing.
Yeah, you have playing. You have to close it.
What, Twitch.tv, right, John?
Yes. Yeah, you have the video playing in the background. You have to close that out. The video you were watching before.
Let's see. Okay. Okay. What do we do? How's that?
Let's see. Let's see. Test. Say test, John.
Test.
I think we got it.
Yeah.
I think we got it. We're still waiting for your video, though. All right, no worries about that. No big deal. Ed, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. It's always an adventure sometimes. It's funny because we usually do me and Ed usually do a mic test earlier in the day, and it's always like perfect. And then when it comes time to do the show, there's always some kind of issue.
There's some kind of issue, yeah. But,
that's just the nature of the beast, I guess.
We're good now. I mean, I see me at the bottom of the screen and 2 stills above.
Yeah, something's wrong with OJ, but it's okay though. We got you. That's the important thing.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
That's the only thing we care about.
Side note.
Well, I tuned in a little early to hear you talking about. I think I came in when you were talking about doing the convention in Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wondered, are you going as Schnoz Man and Hole Punch?
I will not be in costume. OJ will be there. Hole Punch may make an appearance.
Well, nothing attracts attention like some live action, live performance. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people with videos to show.
Oh, we're making our own as well.
Funny.
So yes.
And you have your own, but nothing would take them by storm like a couple of the characters actually showing up. But that's your call.
That's the rumor, Dad. I hear it may happen. So people are gonna have to come and see.
Okay.
So anyway, I wanted to talk to you about that a little bit because we're going to be doing a little presentation. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to talk to the people, and there may be a good amount of people in the audience. So I wanted to get your advice about public speaking, talking to a large group of people like that, and not coming off like a complete idiot.
Well, you can either write a script and rehearse a lot, or just get yourself jazzed about it and have fun and be enthusiastic. I'm sure that would carry the day. Maybe prepare a scene that is from the series. And now that's if you were going to show up as. If you're talking to a bunch of people, just be enthusiastic, passionate. They don't want to know why it's why it's necessarily poignant or the budget is correct or any of that stuff. Just you're excited about it, you know.
Right. Okay. I'll try my best, I guess. We'll see how it goes.
And you should be. Yeah. I've been watching it. I've been following it, and I think it's just getting better and better.
Awesome.
As it goes, you know.
Here. Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the show that we do. I'm gonna mention you maybe that you come on these broadcasts sometimes and try to spread the word about what we do here to the fine people of Dallas. So it should be fun.
Okay.
So, what's going on with you, Ed? Are you enjoying? It's summertime now.
Hey, well, it's always summertime.
It's always summertime where you are, yeah.
Good point.
And summer is generally slow. People are on hiatus. I had a day of work last week as Lincoln.
Oh wow!
I was a talking penny. I can't give details because the spot hasn't aired.
Yeah. Did they put like brown bronzer on you or something?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
They covered you in bronzer.
Wow.
Huge foam penny, and I got made up, and then I got bronzed or coppered as well, so that it looked like I was just turning away from the coin and speaking. It was fun.
Huh.
It was fun.
I played a video when we started today. It was a Cartoon Network commercial you did back in 2000, and you were Lincoln, and you mentioned to me that was like the first time you were Lincoln. Is that true?
That kicked off the whole Lincoln thing because, yeah, I didn't have the top hat and beard and mole and suit and all that stuff, but it was a call for a Lincoln, and when I showed up, there must have been 40 or 50 Lincolns there, guys who did nothing but that, but they were. Well, meet and greeters or lookalikes, not necessarily actors.
Right, impersonators.
They were, yeah. And this spot called for some acting chops, and I think that's why I booked it. Because I went as the rail splitter Abe. I just wore pants that were a little too short, work boots, suspenders, a white shirt with the sleeves rolled up. You know, tried to be, the young rail splitter Abe. But no, they put the beard on me. Little hook things over the ears, and we did the spot, did the audition, and I booked it. And when the professionals went to town on me, putting on the costume and makeup and beard and I thought, wow, my father was right, because he had told me all most of my career, you should play Abe Lincoln, Eddie. You got the lanky look. You know. And yeah, Dad, I'll do it. You know, sooner or later I'll get around to that. But when the pros made me up, I thought, wow, I do translate well. Maybe I should take this seriously.
Wow.
So I read whatever plays that were written and wasn't crazy about any of them. So I spent the next 2.5, 3 years writing my own. And that's what 2 Miles a Penny is.
Wow.
And,
Let me ask you, is that a usual standard practice that you show up to the audition dressed as the character? Is that people usually do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with Lincoln you do. I might have made a mistake getting a little too made up for, well, let's say, well, I can't, yeah, see, until these spots air, I'm not allowed to talk about them. It's what's it called? Not disclaimer, confidentiality clause.
Yeah, yeah. But when you go to like an audition now for Lincoln, do you come in the full suit? You walk down the street as Lincoln and you come in and...
Well, I get in my car and I drive to the audition.
Okay, you're Abe Lincoln driving a car.
Yeah. And I get waves on the Santa Monica Freeway, you know. I wave back, you know. And
Aw.
I guess out there it's not really a big deal though. They probably realize, okay,
No.
if you're in, you're somewhere else, they might be like, what is going on here? They might call the police or something.
One year on Lincoln's birthday, I decided I would walk around Hollywood Boulevard to see if people wanted to have their picture taken with me.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I've seen them do that.
Because, you know, they got Spider-Man and
Yeah,
Mr. Spock and all those characters out there. But I didn't have it in me to, charge money to have a picture taken. That's not what I was about. You know, I had too much respect. I started writing the play just as something to do in schools. But as I got into it, the stakes went up as I started reading more Carl Sandburg and David Donaldson and the researchers, the biographers. The show became a little more sophisticated, and now it's it's a family fare show. It's not an educational theater piece, as they might say. Educational theater keeps people away in droves. So
that Cartoon Network commercial is great. Some of your facial expressions and the mannerisms are just really funny. It's excellent stuff. So we talked about how you got, oddly enough, that's how you started with Lincoln.
Right. Let's
go back to the very beginning, because you come on here, you talk a lot about your acting career and stuff like that. I don't think we ever talked about like how you first started out. So like, how did you? What was it like you first decided like I'm gonna be an actor? That's my thing. This is who I am.
I think it might have been the first play that I did when I was a senior in high school. I hadn't done much extracurricular stuff, and I was in a parochial school, all-boys school, and one of the sister schools, who usually had girls play the boys' roles, they just could not see a girl playing Henry VIII. They were casting Henry
gosh. That would have been
in a piece called Royal Gambit. Yeah. So I thought, well, that might be interesting, and I went out to Marymount High School in Tarrytown. You might know where that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not too far.
I have a relative that actually went to that school, so I've been there before.
So this would be 67, 68, yeah, 68. And so I read for Henry VIII, and I got it. I was the only guy in the play. They didn't even have a bathroom for men. They had to put a special sign on one of the doors, and
men only.
Men only. Ed only. Whatever.
Ed only.
And we rehearsed that play for about 3 months.
Wow.
It's a long time to rehearse a play.
Yeah.
But that's when I think I got the acting bug. So I went to University of New Hampshire at the Paul Arts Center. Is there a good acting school? And I went as an English major, but I really had an eye out for the theater department as well. And once I got into it, there was no turning back. No turning back.
Wow. What's some of the stuff? Like, what's some of the shows or movies that you initially watched that you're like, I want to do that?
Well, back in the day, when I was a young'un, everything was family fare on television.
Right.
Because most families only had one TV, one big black and white TV.
How many TV stations were there? when you first started watching TV?
Probably 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
2, 4, 7.
How many do you have now? 1,000 or something?
Yeah, I don't know. There's still too many for me. I usually get basic cable service.
Yeah.
11, 12 channels, that'll do me fine. I don't watch that much TV.
Yeah.
But they were all family shows. The Ed Sullivan Show, Jack Parr's TV show, The Honeymooners, Burns and Allen. One of my favorites was the Dick Van Dyke Show. It was all good family fare stuff. I especially liked Ed Sullivan for introducing all the rock bands.
Did you see a lot of that stuff when it aired originally, like the Beatles, Rolling Stones? Did you see that stuff when it happened?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Live, yeah.
That's awesome.
And,
What's that like? What's that like to see the Beatles? Like here's the Beatles, and did you know who they were at all, or just here it is, and you watch it, and you're like, wow.
Oh yeah, we knew who the Beatles were before they on the show, but that was the first time we got to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And then later that year, I saw them at Shea Stadium.
Oh yeah. You were there, huh?
I was there, and the place rocked. I mean, you could feel that balcony moving. It was kind of scary.
That's history right there.
Yeah.
Glad you made it there. I wish I could have seen that.
Yeah, I know, people go to concert. Like, imagine go to a concert. That's part of history, you know. It doesn't happen all the time.
Well, I made it to Woodstock too. I think I mentioned that, but it was
we talked a little about that.
Yeah, when we were talking about hippies at one point, and
you saw the Beatles. You saw the Beatles live, and you went to Woodstock. That's some good stuff right there, Ed.
Yeah, but the Woodstock story is almost a story of shame because I left. Because I had a pot washing job to do.
Yeah, you could tell people a different version, though.
I could.
Make something up.
You can leave out the end part. Yeah, I went to Woodstock. What of it?
What of it? Yeah.
See, bands.
That's tremendous stuff. So, like, out of those shows you watched as a kid, did you ever say, like, I want to be in that? Was there a certain show like I would like to be in that show, or like I want to specifically be in that?
I was not a fan of the Mickey Mouse show, and
really?
That's the only problem I had with my sister. She wanted to watch Mickey Mouse, and Superman was on at the same time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to watch Superman.
I don't blame you.
And there was only the one TV. But be a part of. Actually, one of my sisters was on the Howdy Doody show. She was in the audience.
Oh wow.
Might have even been both of them.
Did they film a lot of this stuff was filmed in New York?
I believe, that was the hub then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably at Rockefeller Center.
They wouldn't fly my sisters out to L.A. Just.
It's a bit much.
All right.
So today I got a project notices that call this number and you can be a contestant, or not necessarily a contestant, but you can be in the audience of Let's Make a Deal.
Oh yeah.
Dwayne Brady, and might get picked and might win a prize.
Right.
So,
you gonna take that up or what?
I might reply to that. I'm going to ask my daughter if she's interested.
Can't hurt, right?
No.
That might be a
Worst
fun day.
case, you get to go see the show.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot of shows like that? Have you gone to like the Tonight Show or Carson or any of those? Were you ever like in a studio audience for a lot of this stuff?
Well, I was on $10,000 Pyramid.
Right.
A long time ago as a contestant.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember mentioning that because the next day 3 people said, "Hey, weren't you on $10,000 Pyramid yesterday?" Who remembers game show contestants?
Well, you only got 4 channels. I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah, I went to the Dick Cavett show when he had Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier on just before Thriller in Manila.
Look at this.
And that was a good show.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this: you decided you did your play. You decided I want to be an actor. When you started telling your friends and family, I'm going to be that's what I want to do. I want to be an actor. Did some of them say, "Don't do that"? Were you crazy? You don't do this or anything like that?
Well, my dad was the only one who really had an objection. Because he didn't see it as a really solid future. When I was born, Sputnik was just going up, and he saw the space age as the way to go. So he started reciting the planets in their order while I was still in the crib.
Wow. So you were supposed to be an astronaut, Ed.
I was supposed to be an astronaut.
Hey, it's not too late.
So, yeah, it is. It's too late for me. But I still have a passion for astronomy and the stars, so it kind of backfired on him. I still have an interest in it, but I didn't want to make it a livelihood. Sometimes I regret making acting a livelihood because something kind of unfortunate happens when it becomes your living. You can't be as picky about the things you'll do, especially if your axiom for success is don't do anything else for a living. That's the only way to know that you're a professional. And that was one of my axioms for success, was don't do anything else for a living. So if the only job I could get was doing a children's theater at 5 in the morning in Hudson, New York, I would do it,
There's children at the theater at that time? What?
Well, I mean, I had to get up at 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So
pick up the crew and get
come
up
to school. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
And do the show in their cafeteria.
Did you do a lot of stuff that you look back on? You're like, I wish I didn't have to do that part.
No, I don't. I really don't have regrets. I've been fortunate. The through line to my career, kind of legendary or historic or epic characters. I've been Dracula. I've been Sherlock Holmes. I've been the Man of La Mancha.
Oh wow.
Abraham Lincoln. I like to hit the history. I'm a meat and potatoes, full service actor. That's an echelon that is. We're not stars. We're like guests and co-stars. And not a lot of people out of 100 could place my name with my face. That's called the TVQ, your TV quotient, is how many people out of 100 could match.
Is that a real thing that people have like a percentage or something? Like they follow this?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what puts you on the A, B, C, or D list.
Oh, wow, I had no idea. That's interesting.
So,
you're kind of like the guy that's just as talented as the star, but they put you in positions where you make the star look good. You make them look better.
Yeah, so we're usually more talented than the star.
You're essentially more talented than them because you're the one that has to prop them up and make them look great. So.
I remember one of my first auditions in LA when I came back here in '87 was for Hunter, and they almost always ask, "Do you have any questions about the character?" And actors almost always say, "No questions." Like it's clear as a bell to me. But I was reading for this white collar murderer. I was working with John Cipher, a guy who played the mayor on Hill Street Blues, and we were going to car bomb a guy who was blackmailing us, and to get out of having to pay him. And the lines were things like, "Is your man in place, ready and waiting?" So my question was, yeah, I do have one question about the character. Have they ever killed someone before? Because if they haven't, all these lines are heightened. They're different.
Right. They're like, we have no idea.
Especially, let's do it.
Okay.
That was one of the simple lines. And they all looked at each other and decided, yeah, these guys kill people all the time.
That changed a lot.
Would have been too interesting a choice. So they let it go at that. But what I also did for that audition was program my answering machine at home to give me the other lines, because the audition was a phone call. So I programmed my answering machine to do the other characters, so they didn't have to do anything. That's a key to auditions, is to take control, own the room. If you walk in and there's just one chair, pick it up and put it back down, even right where it was, just to say, now it's my chair. This is where I wanted it. This is where I want it.
That'd be a great topic for the future. Just talk about the audition process. I'd like to talk to you about that at some point. Let me ask you this: so you decide acting should be your career.
Yeah.
Did you have just like any career? There's at times there's setbacks. There's things that happen that are out of your control or whatever, and things that you don't want to happen. How do you continue on when something negative happens to you, and you go, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah,
and,
you don't get
on my path.
Well, that was a hard decision when I was moving from Godspell to Equus, because in Godspell I was playing the Judas John character. I was singing and dancing. I had solos. I was splitting center stage with Jesus, and I did that show for like 4 years. And then in Equus they asked me to be a horse, no lines, and a lot of people thought I was nuts to be interested in Equus. But I was still a very young actor, and I loved that show so much. I wanted to be a part of it in any way. So maybe that was a poor business decision, but I still don't think so, because I really loved playing a horse.
Of course.
Of course. And with a name like Ed Trotta, there were plenty of jokes. You know. Yeah, disappointments do happen. I had, a pretty hard one to swallow recently. And without getting into too many details about that, because that campaign hasn't aired, it would have been sort of the last job I would have to have sought, because it was an ongoing campaign, spokesman for an ongoing campaign, like Flo is for Progressive.
Oh wow! Like a mascot type thing.
Yeah, and it would have been, for a contract for years at a very nice high pace, and it would have been a lot of celebrity. And I think I came in second. If I read body language and the way they released people and kept people and people nudging, and I think I came in second, which makes it hurt more.
Jeez.
But you never know if that was really intended for you, if that was really going to be. Because here's the thing that always gets you through disappointments. If you love what you're doing and want to dedicate yourself to it and make it a career, make it a life, well then don't peak too early. That was the other axiom. Don't do anything else for a living, and don't peak too early, because then you'll spend your career hanging on.
That's like all the child actors.
Yeah, you're better off just spend your whole career getting to the top of your game. Make it a journey. Make it the process. If you love what you're doing, then don't be in too big of a hurry to get to the top.
Right. You got to realize you're doing the thing you love.
I don't know if that's great advice, because opportunity can only knock once or twice, and youth will be served,
Right.
But hopefully we continue to improve in one way or another. Don't ask me to dance anymore, but I will. I'll give you an acting scene. I'll give you a scene.
Excellent. So you mentioned to me. You have a fan of yours who lives in Canada, and she contacted you in the past, and she kind of gave you inspiration to.
She bailed me out of that woe that I was having about losing that job, because it was like the next day that I got an email from her that was so sweet and so rich with gratitude for. Having seen her through some tough times, just because she got into the game World of Warcraft.
Right.
And I will let her tell you.
All right. Well, we actually have. She wants to come on. Let's try to get her in here, and then hopefully this works, and then we can. You guys can talk about it.
Then who's going to be on the screen?
I have no idea. Let's see what happens here.
Okay.
I'll let you say hello and everything, Ed.
Let's call Christine. There she is. There's her picture.
Okay.
So.
Hello?
There she is. Hi, Christine. It's Ed and John and OJ.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Christine. How's it going?
Yo.
Nervous, but I'm okay.
Don't be nervous. No big deal. We're just having a good time. You were talking to Ed, and Ed brought up that you bailed him out. You helped him out big time after a career setback. So I wanted you guys to kind of talk about What happened?
I told him I'd let you describe in your words what.
Gosh, I don't know where to start. Well, like I've mentioned, or like he's mentioned, I learned about his work through World of Warcraft, as he's the voice actor of Malfurion Stormrage, and this was a game that I played almost religiously on a daily basis during a very difficult time in my life. In late 2008, 2009, I was diagnosed with cancer, 2 types, papillary follicular. And at this time, I was only 20, 21 years old.
Wow.
And, I just gotten out of high school. I'd just gotten out of that, teenage angst, teen woes, moving, all the stuff that happens, when you're a teenager and when you're in high school, and it gets really hard. And I thought that hard part was over. But then no, it was, I got sicker. I saw the doctor, you have cancer. So that pretty much destroyed my life. I thought, oh, this is it. This is the death sentence waiting to happen. And I'm going to admit, there's no shame in admitting, I had dark thoughts about, taking my own life before this disease could, because I'd seen so many friends, so many family members fall to it. And a friend of mine suggested, try to get your mind off of it. Get your mind off of something. Hey, there's a game I play. It's called World of Warcraft, and I know you're into the whole fantasy thing. So, try playing this with me. So I did, and his plan, as using it as a distraction, worked. Whenever I felt like I was in pain, or I was upset with the world or myself or the things that I was going through, I'd just say, no, let's take an hour break, let's take a 2-hour break, open my laptop, and not, let's be someone else for a while. And the character Malfurion Stormrage was one of my favorites. And I related to him and the Night Elves and his character, and he was a big part of my inspiration for still playing this game and going back and playing Warcraft 3. But if that wasn't enough, there was a period of time when I was given the option to take chemotherapy or to take a radioactive iodine drink. And if I chose that drink, I would have to stay in the hospital for 8 months and be monitored with no outside contact because It was radiation.
Yeah.
I'd have to be treated like I had the plague.
Right.
So I opted for that because I didn't want chemo. I didn't want my hair falling out. I didn't want to shave my head. It wasn't something I wanted to do. And during this time, I wasn't allowed to have anyone visit me. I couldn't see my parents, and when I did, it was through a glass window, like in prison. I was housed in a concrete room, and the nurses that came in had to wear, like these hazmat suits because I was radioactive. And during this time that one of the things that kept me going, that kept me believing while I got this treatment, was playing World of Warcraft and being able to imagine myself in this wonderful new world, in something that I wanted to be a part of. I could close my eyes and daydream and create, and it was part of that inspired me to keep being myself, to not let this disease, this illness, this thing that I was going through become a part of me. And I'd think of Malfurion and the other characters in this wonderful world, and I'd draw, I'd write, I'd create. So I've been 4 years cancer-free now.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It means a lot to me. And I see Ed smiling. And, just recently I was upon the 4 years of having that anniversary, this January, around that, I was looking back upon, what I'd been through, and I thought, well, he was one of my favorite characters. I think, what if I found out who voiced this character, And what if I said thank you? You know, what if I shared my story? What if I said, hey, you know, you got me through such a difficult time. And
so that was the email I got, and that was the email that made me think, well, you know, even if I'd gotten all that celebrity and all that money, none of that could have bought that kind of gratitude and that kind of reward, you know. A small thing that I did, a small thing, but it touched somebody, and
then it inspired you in return.
Yeah.
Wow. First, Christine, by the way, you're excellent on the mic there. You could probably do your own show. Why were you nervous to come out? Why were you nervous to come out here?
Hear that, Christine? You hear that? She's a pro.
She's a pro. Look at this.
She studies voiceover.
Speak very well.
Thank you. And that's ironic, considering that my cancer was in my throat. And I was given a warning that I might never speak again. So either my vocal cords were going to be damaged, or I could have the possibility of becoming mute. Thankfully, that wasn't the case.
You've overcome quite a bit. Do you have a different perspective on life? You feel that other people appreciate things a little bit more than other people, maybe?
I definitely do, considering after my supposed cancer woes were over, I had 2 brain tumors removed.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a very rocky ride for me. I mean, I'll get into that another time. But, you know, it's... A lot of people worry about the future and, you know, what's going to happen to me tomorrow, what's going to happen to me in a month from now. Yeah. And this taught me, you know, resilience. This taught me a way of thinking that, you know, I got to live for today. Let's live for the hour. Let's see if I can do this. You know, I was really frustrated, but it gave me the appreciation that, you know, no matter what we go through, we can overcome it. And it gave me such a great gratitude for the people that make those dark days a little bit more bearable, whether they're friends or family, or whether it's someone like a voice actor or an idol that will touch your heart in a way that they probably didn't even know. You know, they go into the booth, they record a couple of lines, and they think nothing of it. They're like, okay, this is that. But to know that that few hours in the booth was able to transport them from their world into someone else's, to be there for them and comfort them in their time of need. You know, I'm not sure if a lot of voice actors are aware of this kind of power that they have.
Right.
So I am eternally grateful to Ed Trotta for even, you know, the trivial amount of peace and happiness that he was able to assist giving me through all of this, because I don't know if I would have been able to do it without it. And even though I may have, it wouldn't have been nearly as, what's the word I'm looking for? Bearable.
Here you go. Ed, what is that like to hear that? And is there any award you could win that would feel the same way?
No, that's exactly what my point was. That you know, you can give me any statue, any globe, any certificate, or any amount of money, and it couldn't touch that kind of feeling. You know, that reward.
That's deep stuff.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, Christine. Thanks for coming on. You really do speak very well. I think you should maybe consider doing your own podcast or something. I think you're probably better than me at this. I think. But,
thank you very much, and thanks for having me. Yeah. And even if my story of, you know, just getting through the stuff that I've been through can help inspire one person to say, hey, maybe the stuff I'm going through isn't so bad. Maybe I can make it to tomorrow. Maybe I should think about the things in my life that are good instead of the things that are overwhelming, then I'm happy to have been had.
I think you inspired everybody today. Gotcha. I feel really inspired by you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone,
Thanks,
for your
Christine.
support, and thank you, Ed.
Talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right,
bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Well, that was great, Ed.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man.
Huh?
So that's what it's all about. That's why you do this stuff, you know?
Yeah. I mean, when it's live, when you're on the stage and you can hear the audience and you know whether you have them in your hand or not, and if they're listening, that's one thing. But this was something I had done like 2 years ago, or more. I've been Storm Rage now for like a decade, for like 10 or 12 years.
Wow.
Who knows what, and I hardly know the story. They're all non sequiturs when you're in the booth.
Right.
A guy named Richard Knack wrote a novel called Storm Rage, just about my character, and I couldn't even get through it. It was just you had to know the game, you had to be into it.
I've heard some of those voiceovers you did. And that's just powerful stuff. They had a little bit of reverb on you and all the effects and everything. I mean, and with your voice behind it, it's really moving stuff. So I could see how.
Well, Storm Rage is the one that's the least altered.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like, all kinds of echo and
gosh,
was also very altered. But Storm Rage is the closest to my natural voice of any of the characters I've done for Blizzard.
Right. So Ed, I think you the last couple times you came on, you graced us with a beautiful song.
Oh,
are you? Do you want to do something today, or?
I want to do something, of course.
All right, excellent.
Close with that. This is one that is from my generation, but I picked it because the Moody Blues are in town this summer. They're going to be playing the Hollywood Bowl, and this is from late '60s, '69, I think. I've been thinking about our fortune. I've decided that we're really not to blame, for the love that's deep inside us now is still the same. And the sound we make together is the music to the story in your eyes. It's been shining down upon me now, I realize. Listen to the tide slowly turning, wash all our heartaches away. We are part of the fire that is burning. From the ashes we can build another day. But I'm frightened for you children, for the life that we are living is in vain. And the sunshine we've been waiting for will turn to rain. But when the final line is over and it's certain that the curtain's gonna fall, I can hide behind your sweet, sweet love forevermore. Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you remember that song? Does that ring a bell?
It sounds familiar now that I hear it. I don't know that band as well as some others. But that was beautiful.
Okay, glad you liked it.
Tremendous stuff, Ed.
Thanks, guys. So we're closing out, huh?
That was great stuff, man. I just want to say as we say goodbye for this month. I think this is the 5th consecutive month you've been on this program, and I just want to thank you. You've inspired me quite a bit as well as many other people out there, and you make me feel like I'm a legitimate, because you're a legitimate actor and performer and everything. And if you want to hang out with me for a little while, once a month, that makes me feel like maybe I got something good going on for me. So
we are all legitimate, John.
Or maybe none of us are. I don't know, but you make me feel good. That's all I have to say.
Good luck in Dallas, guys.
We're going to take care of business, Ed.
Yeah, kick ass and stay ballsy.
You've taught us well.
All right.
So we're going to do that. All right, so we'll see you next month.
See you next month.
All right,
so long, everybody.
All right, Ed.
Go to Ed Trotta Fan Club.
Yeah, we forgot. Ed Trotta Fan Club on Facebook. Please check it out. All kinds of great stuff Ed-related on there. You can talk to Ed and everything like that. So check the description of this video for the link or search for it on Facebook. All right, Ed.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
Yes. OJ.
It's always sad when Ed leaves the chat.
Yeah. That's good stuff, man. You know, you put these kinds of shows together, and I think that's what we hit on today. Is something you rarely hit on, but that's really what the purpose of this kind of stuff should be. You know, I don't think it should be like, hey, let's bitch about some form of movie or a video game or something like that. No. I think there's a time and place for that. But when this stuff really means something, when art really means something, you're tapping into an emotion and you're giving some people some inspiration and something to carry. After you watch it, then you go out and you go, I feel a lot better about the world, and I'm ready to go accomplish shit. And that's how I feel right now after what Christine and Ed did for us today. So
yeah, that was
beautiful stuff, and I feel like the tank is full. OJ, I've been refilled, and we're headed out to Dallas. I'm ready to take care of business and entertain the shit out of those people down there. And that's what my goal is this weekend.
Knock him dead for Ed.
That's right. So that's it, man. What do you got to say, OJ? Tell us.
You want me to play us out, or you just want me to talk? Because I want to say that...
Yeah, go ahead.
We've gone through a lot today, man. Dang.
Yes.
From silly stuff to really important things and life-changing events for people. So I can only hope that, we're going to continue to bring good to other people's lives.
I hope so. And that was excellent stuff today. So I see a couple people talking about live calls. We're going to get back to live calls. We'll be back next week. Mm-hmm. I don't think we know what day we're doing the show next week. We haven't figured it out 100% yet. Me and OJ have talked about that, but there will be a show in some form on some day. Stay tuned to the proper channels to find out when that may be, and it's going to wrap us up. So we'll get back to the calls, though. All right, everybody, we like talking to you. Say hi and everything. Right, Johnny?
Yes, indeed. I just wanted to say again.
OJ's in widescreen mode.
I just want to say again, thank you to Ed, thank you to Christina, thank you to Bill.
All right.
Thank you to everyone.
Just looking at the chat for a second there. Okay, so we'll be back next week, heading to the Wild Wild West, and doing all that. So my friends, thank you for being a part of JohnRamboPresents, the very best in free and optional entertainment. We'll talk to you soon. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye. Adios.
Good night.